Turn that damn roof off!
Powered by Arkansas, for Arkansas. This is Inside Arkansas Live.
And welcome into Inside Arkansas Live here on this beautiful day here in the great state of California. I'm your host, John Nabors, alongside Curtis Wilkerson and Andrew Ellis, and appreciate each and every one of you for making us a part of your afternoon this afternoon. Once again, appreciate all your patience, folks, but we are live from San Francisco as the Razorbacks are going to be taking part in the Sweet 16 matchup against Texas Tech on Thursday night, and we're going to be here all week long to provide you the coverage. But, fellas, we made it to San Fran. How's it feel to be here? Weather's great. The Airbnb is awesome. Shout out to our guy, Logan. How are we feeling?
Do I go first?
Yeah. I didn't
know what the hell was going on.
I was like, normally you go first, but I guess we did sit in a different order today. I'm feeling great. I told you guys this. I have never been this far west. I'm not a super well traveled gentleman, but had never been past I think Arizona when I was a toddler. My parents went on a trip to the West Coast that I don't remember. But this is by far the most west I've been as an adult man, and so I'm excited. Excited to learn, experience new things, embracing the grind, embracing the hustle. And San Francisco, the very limited sample size I have, I like it. It looks like a completely different planet, but I'm happy to be here and excited about hog ball.
I'm excited about hog ball too, man. It's my fourth time in San Francisco in my life. Fourth time here. I really like it, man. I like it. It's hilly now. It's very hilly out here, but it's awesome, man. The vibes are good. Like you said, John, the weather is great. We're in a cool neighborhood, very, very different than anything I've experienced, especially in Fayetteville. So I'm excited, man. It's a good time. I'm looking forward to tomorrow getting out to the Chase Center and seeing what the vibes are like around the arena.
I can't wait, man. It's good to be back, and it's something that I was telling Curtis when we were flying in. It's like I did not expect to ever be back here. They're like, it's nothing against the fine city of San Francisco, but it's one of those cities to where you go. You experience it a little bit, and it's not something just like, oh, I can't wait to go back. And yet, here we are. I mean, it's San Francisco, but we couldn't be happier because it's the Sweet 16. It's the NCAA Tournament. It's going to be at the Chase Center. And we're going to see players. We're going to see Hogs. We're going to see Cal. We're going to see everything. And it's going to be happening right here. I know a ton of Razorback fans are showing up. I'm going to be curious if there's more Razorback fans in San Francisco this time around than what there was, I guess, 3 years ago now at this point in time. I'm wondering what's going to have the better showing, comparatively speaking, between the two.
Well, I can't speak to that because I was not here the last time. I was a young pup that was not out on the basketball beat. I was kept in the shadows back then. But no, I do think that it's going to be interesting because we really didn't see a ton of Hog fans in Providence last week, and I think there were a lot of people who probably made that decision of like, I'm not going to travel to Providence, but if they advance, I'll go to San Francisco. And now they're, having to pay up for that. And so I think there's going to be a lot of people, like more so than Providence for sure, with it just being a major city. We've also just got a little bit of a California contingent of Hog fans. I mean, San Francisco is a major enough city to where there's fans of every single team in college in the city somewhere, more so than an area like Providence, a little bit smaller, but it's going to be interesting. And so I feel like Hog fans are fired up for this one. And I'd imagine there's going to be a decent contingent, right? Wouldn't you think?
I don't know. I'm pretty anxious to see. I felt like the last time we came here, maybe some people had some more advanced planning because it was more expected. You know what I mean? Like Arkansas, what were they, the 3 seed or the 4 seed? I guess maybe the 4 seed that year.
Yeah.
And they wound up getting through there. So I feel like a lot of people made the conscious decision looking at the bracket to be like, there's no need for me to go to Buffalo because they're going to win those 2 games. And then we'll go to San Francisco. With this one, it's kind of the exact opposite. But I hope that we get that bump from people who are like, yeah, I can't go to Providence. This year's been kind of weird. They're, maybe they'll win a game and that'd be cool. Well, then they make it, and all of a sudden you're like, well, I did kind of save the coin on going to the East Coast. So we'll see what that looks like, man. But there's always, like, Razorback fans always travel to these things, and I mean, we had a good handful on our flight today, and it's more than 48 hours before the game. So I think there'll be a good amount of Razorback fans there, and I'm also anxious to see who the locals adopt this week, because this region makes absolutely zero sense geographically, like at all. I mean, you got Arkansas and Texas Tech in the middle of the country there, and you got Florida and Maryland all the way on the opposite coast. So it's kind of weird. The last time we were here, if you think about it, you had the West Coast darling in Gonzaga. They were the number 1 overall seed, and obviously a strong contingent of their fans was down there for the San Francisco thing. You had Coach K's swan song, so the Duke fans were traveling all over the place to get there for that because they wanted to potentially see Coach K's last game. And then it was Arkansas and Texas Tech. Yeah, and so it was just a very different vibe than this right here. It's almost like this region, and I'm not disrespecting the teams here, but it's like the undercard region of everything else here with the teams that are out here and given where they're at, which is completely separate part of the country than their typical fan base.
Which is crazy because it's not like you have a 10 seed and a 7 seed and like a 5 seed and all of that. Like literally Arkansas is the outlier in this as the 10 seed. And so you would think, and this is where I don't understand the geography of it all. You would think that, okay, well, if you're a 1 seed or a 2 seed or a 3 seed or a 4 seed, your second round of games, your second weekend of games would adhere a little bit more geography speaking.
Right.
And you could not have it further from that. You have Florida as your 1 seed. Then you had St. John's as the 2nd seed. And then you have Texas Tech as the 3 seed. And then the 4 seed ends up being Maryland. Yeah. So it's like none of that makes sense. Like not even one team can say that's like, oh, well, that's good for us out there because you go for the higher seeded teams. And that's where I think, kind of going what you're talking about, Curtis, the darlings of it all. I feel like this is a thing that Arkansas, this is their time to be that darling. They can do it. This is their time because I think that they could be the favorite. They got the story because they got the coach. They got Cal.
That's exactly right.
Like they got Cal. And that's what everybody's going to be like, hey, well, I don't know anything about Arkansas, but they got that guy, Calipari. I've heard of him before.
Yep.
So I think that that's an element of it. And I also think, maybe I'll be wrong in this, we'll see, but I also think that there's a very good possibility that the Razorback fans will be the most represented fan base here. I could be wrong.
I think so too.
But there's at least a much better chance than having it when Gonzaga and Duke were coming to town.
Well, and last week when St. John's was, just right down the road from Providence, I do think the fact that no fan base is really set up to thrive in this environment helps. And I mean, since we're talking about Arkansas being a darling, are they not kind of the darling of the tournament? I was listening to Rothstein the other day who was like, Arkansas is kind of, despite having a loaded roster full of 5 stars and potential lottery picks and all that, they're kind of the Cinderella this year, especially with them being, the last rated team by ESPN, the lowest seed remaining. Arkansas is kind of like, I don't know if Arkansas is really a darling, but they're certainly the team that everybody kind of has their eye on. They're certainly the team that we have our eye on. And so I think Arkansas, it won't take long for Hog fans, the ones that do travel, to kind of take over the town. And I do think that once the games start on Thursday, Arkansas is going to have kind of built up some momentum. And I think there will be locals that do get behind them.
Yeah, when you go to places like this, there are. I mean, there's going to be a lot of local flair there. This is not, I don't think, a huge college basketball town. Why would it be? I mean, you got the 49ers, the Giants, the Warriors, obviously, like all these different professional teams out here. I know Todd Golden coached at San Francisco. Nobody knows anything about San Francisco basketball in this city. So they don't even care. Probably, the more people know who John Calipari is than Todd Golden here in the city. But you got that name familiarity. People automatically look at it. What do they always do? They root for the underdog because that's a cool thing. So Arkansas's got that going for them. And then you need something that is cool, that draws the fans' attention and makes them want to be a part of it. Well, wait until all the locals here see the calling of the Hogs.
Oh yeah,
right. Yeah. You can see that one time, and people are gonna be like, "Oh hell yeah, I'm in, I'm sold." Yeah. So I think that's what we're gonna get here.
Also interesting to note that we were talking about Providence and how much of a basketball town it is, and of course you got the Warriors nearby, but would not necessarily describe San Francisco as a basketball country. I mean, with the guys at the coffee shop had no clue what the hell I was talking about. I was
Hope your team wins.
We're here for the NCAA tournament. And he's like, yeah, woo pig, go sports ball. And I'm like, all right, dude.
Yeah, I'll just say I hope that somebody at least right now was in Providence. Guys, like, hey, Suey pigs,
right?
Woo pigs, Suey, Suey the woos. Like, hopefully we get some of those people in there too and hang out. But I know, again, if everybody that is watching or anybody that's watching that's going to be coming out here to San Francisco, safe travels. It's going to be pretty fun. We're going to have some details here very soon on where we will be doing our content. I know that you probably are all hoping that we do it from inside of our awesome Airbnb, but there is going to be in the works, hopefully here very soon. We'll have an announcement of where we'll be doing all of our stuff, and it's going to be an awesome spot. So stay tuned for that.
If you see John step off the show for a few minutes to answer a phone call, that's probably a good sign, right?
Yeah, it's PCOB, taking care of business.
Yeah.
Big business stuff. So, that's what I'll have to be doing. And then when I come back, I'll hopefully have good news and we'll go from there. But
It's gonna be kind of funny if he comes back and he's like, "Yeah, we're not."
yeah, sorry. They saw our
Plan-
picture and they're
plan
like,
B.
absolutely not these guys. So, but yeah, we'll keep you updated on it. And we're going to have a lot to talk about today. We'll get to your chats here in a bit, folks. But how about a little what to watch action presented by our friends over at Bryant Technologies? Bryant Technologies is dedicated to delivering that high quality network infrastructure and security camera solutions. And they take pride in their exceptional workmanship and commitment to keeping solutions to your business operations seamlessly connected and secure, whether it's structured cabling, security camera installations, digital signage, or even TV mounting. Bryant Technologies has you covered. They service the entire state of Arkansas as well as the Arkansas bordering states. So we have a lot of people out there that listen and watch from the Tennessee side of things, from Texas, from Oklahoma, Louisiana, all of that. They service, they help you out there too, no matter what. So have Bryant Technologies help you with all your network and security needs. You can give them a call today at 870-883-0330. Or you can check out their website at Bryant'sTechnologies.com with that S in between. Bryant'sTechnologies.com. It's Bryant Technologies, quality work guaranteed. Again, we'll get to your chat in a bit, but folks, let's just talk about what was a kind of an announcement today of Adu Thero.
I would call
Absolutely.
it. I would call
It
it
would be an
breaking
announcement.
news.
Yeah, I wish I could play the clip, but we get demonetized. But essentially, John Calipari, the head coach of Arkansas, by the way, went on the Pat McAfee show. He does his car wash stuff, and in the most funny Cal way, announces that Adu's going to be ready to play. Ooh, how about that? Essentially that, and then you had John Rothstein kind of come out and say it's dependent on practice. But either way, it looks like Adu Thero is going to be playing for the Hogs this week.
Yeah. I mean, Cal said he's going to be available, and then he doubled back with Rothstein and said pending doing some contact stuff at practice, and they tweeted out pictures of him doing contact stuff at practice. So, I'm going to be interested to see exactly what that looks like. It's different than what Boogie Fland was dealing with. I mean, there's a big difference in coming back from a thumb injury that is fully healed and a knee, right? Because with Boogie, it was like, oh, maybe he's going to play 12 to 15 minutes, like he's saying with Thero here. And then he's played like twice that in both of the games. But he's been able to do his conditioning and run and have his game, it's like his legs underneath him. All that's been there. Thero hasn't really been able to do that. So what kind of game shape is he in? I mean, he's an elite athlete, but he's been out for almost a month now. So that'll factor into it for sure. I heard that he did some practice, not a full on crazy practice yesterday, and that maybe it didn't look that great. But that was also the first day. And so it sounds like he ramped things up today. Tomorrow, we get to go to the Chase Center and watch these dudes practice. Not a full practice. We get 15 minutes. But the difference is they're doing a full 2-hour practice there at the Chase Center. So what they did last weekend was they were at a different college. They had their full practice. They came in. It was like open to the public. They just shot. They got jumpers up for their half hour. This will be the beginning 15 minutes of their practice. So theoretically, we should see them kind of warming up. And so maybe it's not live stuff, but getting up and down the floor, layup lines, 3-man weave, whatever. And we can see, how does he look running around, moving around? Is he jumping up, dunking the basketball? Does he look explosive? So those 15 minutes are going to be very, very telling. I think he's going to play anyway, obviously, but does he look like the Thero that we grew accustomed to, that was Arkansas's best player for a majority of the season? And does he have any protection, like a brace or a sleeve or anything like that on his knee? So I'm going to be really checking that out closely, because if he's good to go, and it sounds like he's going to be, but is it 75% Adu or 90% Adu? A game-changing addition for the Razorbacks, because he solves so many problems when it comes to matchups in the front courts. This is big news for the Hogs.
One thing that I noticed, the GA had nothing for him. The GA that he was putting through the rim in that picture.
That's
right. That was
mean,
pretty rough.
Dude had nothing for him. But one thing that I thought was interesting, when we heard from Cal, I guess it would have been on Friday before the St. John's game, and he was very skeptical at that point about Adu's ability to play in the Saturday game, which of course he did not. And the thing he kept saying was, he's got to prove that he can help the team. Can you help the team? That's really what this comes down to. We always do the thing where we're like, is he 50%? Is he 80%? Is he 90%? To Cal, it seems as simple as like, can this guy help us win? Because if he can, we'll put him out there on the floor. And I think they were very skeptical about that last week. He used that same kind of terminology today on the Pat McAfee show, and he referenced Boogie, where he was like, hey, Boogie was out there. He ended up playing. And Cal was very fuzzy on the minutes, which, by the way, this
by
reminded
fuzzy, you mean wrong?
Yeah, Heartbroken Hawk, by the way. I wanted to pull this up. He said, Curtis, I need your thoughts on Cal going on McAfee and saying he didn't play Boogie more than 18 minutes in either game. Played him more than 18 in both games, just objectively, which is hilarious. But the thing you mentioned with Boogie is like, he helped us. He made plays. He had assists. He had steals. He was a net positive. And so I think that was one. I mean, Cal, we know you can't really hold him to whatever minute restriction. I think, what did he say, 15 to 18 for a Duke Hero or something like that?
12 to 15.
12 to
Yeah,
15.
12, 15.
And
Yeah,
I don't think that's one you should hold him to. But I think he that was his way of getting it out there, where he's like, if we put him out there and he's helping us win, it's an elimination game. You don't really have time to be like, hey, let's rest him. Let's make sure. Like, if he's helping you win, I wouldn't be surprised if he stays out there on the floor. And so I also like that it seemed like last week when we heard from Cal, it's almost like he was challenging Thero of like, you've got to show us something before. We're not just going to put you in the game when you say you're ready to go or when you get cleared. Like, you have to kind of show us something. And so I would imagine knowing a dude Thero and knowing how hard that dude plays, I can imagine he was attacking this rehab the same way. And so he's probably itching to get out there. And so tomorrow I wouldn't be surprised if he's springy as hell, trying to do all he can to kind of show like, no, I'm healthy. I'm good. Don't worry about me. Put me out there. Let me show you what I can do. And again, I just think in this mindset, in this tournament, that's what you need from all your guys. And so it'll be interesting to see. And like you said, different injury than Boogie, but will be interesting to see if it ends up being a similar kind of mode where you put him in there, he looks fine, just kind of let him cook.
Well, and another thing too, like, I'd love to have both players back, but it was kind of was Boogie and Adu. It's like I wanted Adu back first. Like he was kind of the priority, and the fact that with the Boogie element, there's like, oh, will he mess up the chemistry? Will he do this? Will he do that? First off, that didn't happen, and it's not a real thing. And second off, Adu Thero, you don't even have to worry about that. Like this guy has played the majority of the season, and we saw what he is capable of. We saw the difference that he can be. And you just can't put enough value on getting arguably your best player back. I mean, you just can't. And you're playing really good right now. You're in the Sweet 16 without him. I mean, you were in the Sweet 16 without Adu Thero. And there's no reason to believe that him coming back into the mix is going to be a bad thing or a problem or causing any issues or anything like that. And going back to the point of the minutes played, I'm sorry, but if a dude comes in there and has a block shot, 2 steals, he's 3 of 3 from the field, I don't think Cal's going to be like, hey, say timeout. Come on, man, you got to get you out of here. I know you're hitting shots, but we got this restriction thing we got to put you on. Like, no, it's the NCAA tournament. If he's going to be playing well, he's going to play as many minutes as they can get out of him. And so, anytime you can get him at this point in time, you're going up against nothing but high quality teams. It's a good thing to get your best player back.
It's absolutely a good thing to get your best player back, and it's an even better thing to get a player like Adu back. Different injuries with him and Boogie, like you said, also very different circumstances because Boogie was so ball dominant for this team. He was a shot creator and a playmaker, and everything kind of ran through him. Whereas Thero, it's a little bit harder to integrate that back. But with Thero, he's the guy who's like the Swiss Army knife. He's a consummate team player. He does all the dirty work. He'll get in there an offensive rebound. He gets a lot of his points that way. He's a hard cutter. He gets out in transition. He's switchable defensively. He doesn't need the ball in his hands. He doesn't have to dominate the basketball. So it's really just kind of a plug-and-play situation for him. If he's healthy enough to go, he's going to be an asset out there on the floor for Arkansas. So, from that standpoint, if anybody's like, he hasn't played for a while, I don't want to mess with a good thing, he was playing well for a large stretch while Arkansas was getting this thing back on the tracks. And he is the type of player that, regardless of circumstances or how long he's been out, he immediately makes your team better. We'll see what the minutes look like. I'm sure that he'll go with probably short rotations early in the game, but foul trouble can dictate certain things. Arkansas's bigs have been in foul trouble throughout the course of the NCAA tournament, and matchups do too, because if Toppin for Texas Tech is going to play 35 minutes in this game at the 5, and he probably will, I'm not sure how good of a matchup that's going to be for Big Z in this one. So his role in this particular game might be super, super limited. Jonas is going to spend a lot of time on him. Trevin Brazil might be a good option for him as well. And so if you get Jonas out, you can go small ball, slide Trevin down to the 5, bring Adu in at the 4 to guard Darian Williams. Then I think you're really working with something there defensively. So that might be your 3-man rotation in the front court, assuming that Adu's looking good. And I think that's a big positive for Arkansas. Like I said, it changes a lot in terms of matchups for this game. So hopefully he's moving around good tomorrow.
Yeah, there's so many layers to this. Like, I know we keep comparing it to Boogie, even though it's a very different situation, very different players, but it's just kind of the most recent example of Arkansas working a guy back in. I just think it's very interesting how different, one, their roles are, their games are, but kind of what they're asked to come back and do. Because Boogie had that kind of tentative nature of not wanting to mess with the rhythm. Obviously, he's a guy that, although Adu creates a good bit of offense himself, a guy that is a ball handler, creator, and you could tell there was kind of that he didn't want to be overbearing.
Mhm.
Adu Thero not being overbearing is not really in his nature. Now, of course, it's not in a ball dominant way, but I wonder if there's going to be any of those kind of like easing him into it, or if he's just going to get on the floor and just be like a Tasmanian devil out there. Because that's pretty much how he plays. I don't really think he has another gear that he can play in, like a more, laid back type of style. But
Yeah, he doesn't know how to tone it down, man.
right.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the matchups, and another thing is with the injury, like you said, it's a very different injury coming back from a knee injury compared to a hand. And so, how will that look? Will he be that confident version of himself? I think that when you end up holding him out for the St. John's game, you're kind of hoping he'll be better in this situation. He'll be more fresh, more ready to go. Because I don't think Cal wants that integration period of let's ease him in and maybe he's okay. Maybe he can give us a rotation and then we'll really. I think he probably, if he's going to play Adu Thero, I think he wants Adu Thero to play.
Yeah.
And be the Adu Thero that we know and love. But that's just such a fascinating thing to do when you haven't seen him play in a few weeks. But in this type of setting, I think you're going to, and that adrenaline's going to kick in. I think you're going to see an Adu Thero that's a man on a mission.
Yeah, and I will say, and obviously, I mean, I'd be really surprised if they did any shake up to the starting lineup at this point. It would be Thero coming off the bench, I would imagine. But even when he was in there, full throttle, 100% healthy, Adu was playing 28 minutes per game. Like DJ's playing 35, and Nelly and Boogie, those guys are well over 30. But Adu, because of how hard he plays, has never been a guy that can play 40 minutes for you or whatever. So I know some people were kind of thinking with Adu, and it's not a knock on him, but it's Trevin's been so good, since he's been able to elevate into this role. And what does Cal continue to say about him? Like Trevin's battle is within himself. Like it's between the ears, and you don't want to impact anything there. But I really do think, if Adu was averaging 28 minutes per game and he's coming back in his first game, even if he plays more than that 12 to 15, it's probably in that 25 range or something. You got plenty of extra time there for the rest of the four with Trevin, and then again, if you take Z's minutes, then you still got 25 plus for wow, that was a nuke. By the way, that was an absolute nuke by Missouri State,
who's now up 4-0. Ben Bybee just gives up. If y'all keep seeing me looking over here, it's because I'm dialed in on the Diamond Hogs. This is what we do around here.
Anyway, point being, Trevin and Adu can coexist and both play significant minutes for Arkansas in this game. My goodness.
Yeah, that wasn't.
Gosh, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't. I could not react to that.
He had to, because Curtis had to sit there and admire it, just like the batter did. Like,
yeah,
I've seen multiple of you in the comments. They're like, "What the hell, man? What's going on with baseball? Like, why are they doing this?"
It's baseball.
It's a midweek. It's a freaking Tuesday afternoon.
It's baseball.
Just relax.
Yeah.
I saw a few Hog fans that were like doing a victory lap over Tennessee losing a midweek game last week, and I was like, I don't really think that's how that's going to work. They were like, "We should be number one, right? They lost to ETSU," and I was like, no, I don't really think it matters.
No.
If Arkansas goes out there and beats Vanderbilt on the road this weekend, we are not going to remember this joint at all.
Nope, not at all. And I tell you what, we'll do a vibe check, get into your chats, presented by our friends over at Basis Health, where they're changing the way healthcare is delivered by providing medical mobile visits at the comfort of your own home. Makes it easy for you. A doctor will come to your home. A licensed doctor will come to your home for urgent care, primary care, IV hydration, and so much more. It's Basis Health. They are here when you need them the most. You can learn so much more about their great organization. Our guy Dre over there doing it all at basishealth.org today. So let's go ahead and jump into a few of your chats, folks. Real appreciate everybody tapping in with us. We'll get to a big super chat from our guy Jack. Appreciate you, Jack. He says, glad you guys made it. Not sure how y'all are making it. I'm still exhausted from the trip to Providence 2 days ago. Looking forward to watching your coverage from Northwest Arkansas this weekend. Woo Pig, my wife made sure I sent a super chat. We love your wife.
Tell your wife
way.
we said thank you.
Yeah,
very good.
Yeah. No, don't take that out of the wrong context. But yes.
He said, we love your wife.
Yeah, well, listen. We love what she represents and what she stands for. But yes, so we appreciate it, Jack. I'm going to be crashing, I'm sure, after a while. Right now I'm feeling good, but I feel like there's going to be, because when you're on Pacific time now, after being on Eastern time and being on Central time for a little bit, it's going to happen. But that's what tonight's for. A chill. We get our sleep in, and then we go from there. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's about to be 7:00 Central time, 8:00 Eastern time, which we were on, that time zone just a few days ago. So yeah, by the time it gets to nighttime here in San Francisco, we're going to be running on fumes. I know I'm in a bad spot because I had some coffee earlier. Just did nothing to me. Like did not psych me up at all. It's like I'm kind of running on fumes a little bit, but that's why we get here early. We get time to acclimate. The team got here yesterday so they could acclimate to the time zone, the vibes of the city and everything. And we have to do the same thing. We need to make sure we're locked in by Thursday, and make no mistake, we will be.
Well, you saw me when we got in the back of the Uber, slam that 5-hour energy. Did nothing. It did nothing for me. So, unfortunately, that's the case. But no, I'm feeling good. I got the adrenaline rush now that we've landed. All I need is a nice meal from the Tipsy Pig or wherever the heck we wind up, and cold bev, and I'm good for the evening, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's see. Robbie Downtown Brown says, "Let's go. Keep this the best Razorback coverage ever. We're going to do our best. We're going to do our best. That's a goal. We want to keep it going. But yeah, we are here, and that's all that matters."
I love the people that by the way, I appreciate everybody because obviously we're doing this at a different time. Appreciate everybody being patient.
Yes, seriously.
Waiting for us to get settled and not yelling at us too much. I appreciate the people who were just kind of waiting, but that had they come straight to the chat with that positive energy. That's what Robbie Downtown Brown did. Had back to back chats here because he had hoping to hear the Hogs call all the way from San Francisco. It's a reference to Pot at the Palace.
Rumor has it you can do that.
You see that?
Yeah.
You see this?
Merch.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
we
comfortable
appreciate
too.
we appreciate the good vibes, Downtown Brown.
Yeah.
That's a great name, Robbie Downtown Brown.
That's
Is that it? You think he's a 3-point shooter? Is that what that downtown means?
I think it's from,
in my mind.
and then from the Ginny Downtown Brown, isn't that her name? Like the radio person? I could be completely making that up.
I'll take your word for it.
I mean, I am pretty delirious. So, Arkansas Sydney Sweeney says, "Proof I do watch these." Thank you.
I know you. I know you wanted to bring that chat up.
I just wanted to bring it up and give her a shout out.
Yeah.
For her content.
Congrats on your latest purchase, by the way.
Yep.
A pencil.
Moving on.
Oh, ASS. I get it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Vanessa says, "We have an Arkansas Alumni Association here in the Portland, Oregon area. We are everywhere."
That's cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah, we were talking about contingencies. Would there be something? That's pretty sweet.
Portland, Oregon, one of the NCAA tournament regional sites next year.
Can't wait for Arkansas to get that one.
Oh yeah,
because it's going
all the other good ones and good ones. I mean, good for the region, for the fan base to travel to and everything, like Oklahoma City and St. Louis, and all those close areas, and Portland. That's Arkansas is 1,000% going there.
Yep, we just might as well book the trip now.
I've been to Portland before too. You want to talk about a funky town? That place is something else.
I've heard.
Yeah,
I've heard.
Oh. Our boy Hazelwood used to train there. He's told me some stories about Portland. He's seen some stuff in Portland.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Our guy Josh with the super chat, appreciate it, goes, "Does Alumni Hall sell the red Razorback jerseys?" They do.
Yes. We wore them on one of those, I guess a couple of those streams, the 94 throwbacks, and they have just the normal red throwback or the red jerseys, which we're trying to hoping they move to the 94 throwbacks full time, but they have both of them. Alumni Hall, man, they're about that life when it comes to having the actual jerseys that the pros wear.
Yeah, because if they don't have it, it doesn't exist is kind of the deal. But go to insidearkansas.com/alumni hall. Shop them there. You can get it delivered to you, or you can go in store. But yes, they do have the jerseys, the red jerseys. So that's an exciting thing. Johnny says Moses Moody plays for Golden State. Will you guys see him?
So
probably not.
I thought about this because originally I kind of had the same idea. I was like, oh yeah, we'll see him, but we're doing the shows, or the games are going to be at the Chase Center, so that means he will not be at home, which means I think they're in Miami tonight. Someone said so. It's I think they scheduled it to where the Golden State Warriors would be out of town. So unless he gets hurt and gets sent back, I think. Which, by the way, Moses Moody been playing some good ball, been pretty consistent, knocking out shots. Good to see. But no, I don't think we'll be chatting with him. He's got business to take care of.
Jimmy Butler's changed the game.
Yeah, they're crushing.
You think he's opened a coffee shop up here yet?
I'm sure he has. I mean,
that's his thing, man.
This is the place. If you want to open up a coffee shop, this is the place to do it.
Neighbor's Corner, right up the.
But spelled differently.
Yeah, Moody. Moody. They've been jerking around his playing time a lot ever since Butler got traded. Moody's been a lot better. He's been playing a lot more. He's been playing 30 minutes a game, and the Warriors are 17-3 in their last 20. So, sure, it's just a coincidence.
Also, Smellia just said, "What the hell is going on with baseball, Andrew?" I know
they got back-to-back base hits just now. Logan Maxwell rips a single to right field. Kahio Aloy hits the ball about 110 off the bat. I mean, again, it's a midweek game. These are the games, I hate to say it, they're designed for you to sleepwalk through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're going to win this
Arkansas
game 10-6, though.
The last time Arkansas lost a midweek game, I think someone had this in the chat. It's been a couple years. I believe it was to Missouri State. They went undefeated in midweeks. Definitely last year, and I think they did it in 2023 as well. So they don't lose these much.
Also, Edgar Jimenez. If I said that,
do you think he just misspelled his own name? And it's Edgar?
Has to be. Everybody does that. They misspell their names all the time. Make this make sense. Saw some brackets from Analyst. And they had Texas Tech and St. John in the Sweet 16, and St. John's moving ahead, but Hogs didn't have the offense for that upset.
Yeah, because some people are wondering if the Hogs have like the firepower to keep up with Texas Tech in this game. But they're saying St. John's did, and Arkansas is very clearly better offensively than St. John's was. So like I get it there, and like Texas Tech has had a great year. I mean, they earned the seed that they did for a reason. It is a very fun offense, but Arkansas is significantly better on the defensive end of the floor. They're a much different challenge physically and athletically than what Texas Tech has seen in this tournament so far. This ain't UNC Wilmington and ain't Drake. Okay.
Yeah.
And Arkansas has been different on the offensive end for well over a month now. I mean, they've been much improved on that end of the floor, and they're getting ready to be full strength again. So it's anybody who would be bold and pick Arkansas to win this game in advance is not crazy at all. And most people who's because this tournament has gone chalky, and I've heard a lot of people say, well, yeah, like I'll probably pick Texas Tech to advance, but don't be surprised if Arkansas does this, or boy, it feels like a coin flip. I'm just going to go with the higher seed. I think people are subtly picking up what Arkansas has been putting down here.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of offense, I mean, Texas Tech is certainly, without a doubt, the best offense Arkansas will have faced in this tournament so far. I mean, obviously, very small sample size. Certainly,
they haven't even shot it well in the tournament yet.
Right,
Arkansas,
right,
so,
and same for sure. So it's like I get the premise. Like Arkansas, that's certainly a big question in this game. Is like, can Arkansas keep up? But I agree with your assessment, where it's like the idea that like this Arkansas team is just some middle of the pack, like scoring 62 a game. They did their fair share of that early in SEC play, but they've been a lot better, like you said. Really, even going back to that Kentucky game, because you remember going into the Kentucky game, we were saying some of that same stuff about like, can they keep up in a track meet? Like, can they have that high ceiling offensively? I feel like in the last 6 weeks they've really answered a lot of those questions, and so if you favor Texas Tech, like that's perfectly fine. Like I'm not even really going to push back against that, but the notion that this Arkansas offense is like this archaic offense still, I feel like we're kind of living in January if we're still going with that.
I don't have a beer, but bases are loaded. So
bases are loaded. Okay, I like that.
So, that. No outs, so I'm sure it'll go well. Let's keep this going here in the chat. We got our guy Hazelwood actually says, Curtis, what's the defensive scheme to slow down this offense? Toppin gets wherever he wants with his left hand, especially as effective as a screener on the short roll.
Arkansas, they ain't really going to change anything that they do on that end of the floor. But at the end of the day, like Texas Tech, they don't have a bunch of guys who are going to break you down off the bounce. That like they're one-on-one players, they're ISO guys. They like to get it to in the post. Like Darren Williams is he's a guy that can create some stuff on the perimeter and inside because he's kind of like that Thero clone. But yeah, like Toppin, they get it to him on the elbow, the short corner, let him face, and yeah, he likes to go to his left hand or whatever. But they've been pretty hesitant to bring doubles and do a bunch of stuff. I think you got to make it tough on the catch for him. Like you don't want him to just be able to enter it like they did to what was the buddy's name from Colin Murray Boyles from South Carolina, because then it's it's going to be tough selling in there. But Arkansas is going to have a physicality advantage, a strength advantage, size and length advantage that they're going to have to use there. And but you're going to have to be smart about it, because I think a lot of teams they're not in position with the type of defenders they have to just go one-on-one. Like, so I think that they're going to have to win some of those individual matchups with a guy like Toppin, because what you get is teams will start to dig down, or they'll send doubles from different places. And Texas Tech has shooters all over the floor. So then they spray it out. And they start knocking down threes. They got you spread out. And it becomes a big issue for you there. But I think the combination of Jonas and Trevin, and even Adu, if they mess with it a little bit, you're going to be able to throw so many different bodies at him and wear him down. And then on the other end, I think you got to dump it in there to Jonas when Toppin's guarding him and let him go to work and get that dude in foul trouble. The best defense on Toppin is to get his butt out of the game. And so I would really be attacking him on the other end of the floor.
And just making him expend effort on that end, I feel like is definitely going to be huge.
I just want to bring this up because I think I know this person. Zach Ward says, why does John have a tan already? He's been in San Francisco for an hour. Just sun-kissed. What can I say? I'm pretty sure I went to high school with this guy.
Oh.
And
Zach Ward.
Yeah, went to and graduated with him. So if that's the same Zach, what's up, Zach?
So he knows about the crimes you committed back in the day?
He does know about my smoke bomb. Yeah, at least he should. Part of Wes's Wednesday down there in a FHS class of 07. So, just wanted to give him a shout out if that's actually him. And if it's not, then I just...
Can we take it back?
Yeah, then you can go screw yourself.
You didn't go to Fayetteville High School.
Yeah, we don't want any part of you. Shout out to Scott with a super chat. first time super chatter here. Welcome to the West Coast.
Nice.
WPS.
Hell
Thank you,
yeah,
Scott.
Yeah, I
Scott.
appreciate that.
Are you in this particular area? I know the West Coast is a lot, but will we see you this weekend, Scott? Because we'd love to have a drink.
I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of fans. I have a good feeling that not only fans traveling, but a lot of fans that live in the California West Coast area. There's going to be people coming down, and I think the excitement is there. Be honest, like, do you think that there's more excitement for this Sweet 16 than what the one was 3 years ago? Like, as far as the anticipation, the feel good vibes going into it.
No, I don't think so. Arkansas was better the entire year. A couple years ago, they had a high seed, they had expectations, they got through those 2 games, and then I just think coming into it, when you got the opportunity against the number 1 overall seed, and then Duke and Coach K in his last year are sitting on the other side of that. If you win, I think there was more anticipation for that one.
Could I just offer a counter?
You could,
because you already got through the 2 seed. Maybe you have a little bit more confidence because seeing Gonzaga, seeing Duke, having to go through those guys, I feel like maybe this is just me, was a different vibe than having to go through a Texas Tech and possibly a Florida. And it feels like maybe you have a better chance of pulling that off than you did beating Gonzaga and Duke. So maybe I'm completely wrong about that.
No, maybe, I mean, from that standpoint, maybe so.
Yeah.
There's zero doubt about it. The path here in San Francisco, more favorable for Arkansas to get out of there for sure.
Yeah.
I think I'm with you on that.
Maybe it's just revisionist history, but to that point, I don't really think I remember people like saying like, "Hey, Final Four, like this team's really going to make a run." Like, I mean, obviously, it's always a possibility. There's always some people who think Arkansas is going to go to the Final Four every year. I feel like this year there's more of like an expectation of like fans will be bummed out when they lose, whereas like if Arkansas had lost to Gonzaga that year, I don't think the fan base would have been like, "Oh, can't believe they didn't," you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it would have kind of been a little bit more of a happy to be here type of thing. There were a lot of fans that were confident going into that Gonzaga matchup. But I feel like not that there's more pressure in Arkansas, but like I've heard more people this year talking about a legit Final Four national title run these last couple of days than I remember back then. But maybe y'all remember differently.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a while. It's been a few years. I've slept a few nights since that point in time.
Lots happened.
Yeah. Again, maybe I'm just not scared of Texas Tech. Charge the mound. Arkansas's on the board, boys.
Little RBI HBP from Zane Becker.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
Had to sacrifice a bone in his hand to get it, but
they might look at this and say that he did a little
don't
stick out thing.
No, let's not look at anything. No reviews in baseball. How about that? No reviews. Shout out to Cody. He has a super chat. Appreciate it. Cody says, JJ topping who? More like we topping Tech.
Wow.
That boy ain't ready for that
pause?
AT Carter Jonas.
Yeah, what do you mean we're topping Tech?
Topping, like coming out on top of the matchup?
Yeah,
or,
I think that's what he's trying to say.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah.
I assume.
No, I feel you.
Yeah. Like, no offense, Cody, but that was a Stretch Armstrong stretch, my man. Like, that was flirting with it a little bit. But we appreciate the super chat. Hogball Burner says we need a SCO Hogs appearance, and I told him I would be sending this.
It's crazy disappearing.
Yeah, it's amazing. As soon as the cameras got out, he just went MIA.
You'll see him, I guess, on tomorrow's Pod at the Palace, right?
Is it true? Yeah,
But,
we did a little MTV Cribs style run through on the Pod at the Palace, so be on the lookout for that.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. Just a tad bit. You don't want to be in front of the camera.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's not for everybody.
That is a grand
Gabe
slam.
Frazier just hit his first career home run off the top of the performance facility. Arkansas now leads 5-4.
So they still suck?
No, they still suck, but I mean, they're doing what they got to do.
Okay, yeah,
they just might improve to 24-2 today.
Was that a grand salami piss missile?
That was a grand salami. That was a piss missile and a moonshot.
Okay, moonshot.
It was like he hit it probably 400 feet. I know his dad will be fired up to see that. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the baseball team doesn't suck anymore. So that's good. That's good to see. A few more here because I know we'll get some other segments. Parker says, y'all said if Thero comes back, Arkansas wins. Do y'all still stand on that?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. I mean, and it's not one of those things where it's going to be saying, easy win for Arkansas. No, that's not the case. He pimped that one. He walked, backflip. He's suspended. Dave Van Horn's going to suspend him. He can't man.
My guy Nolan Souza just struck out right before him, and so he picked a great time.
I'm about to say,
right as the starting second baseman, who, by the way, Frazier getting to start at third base in place of Iredale today. But
Yeah.
good for him. That's his first career home run. He had a hit earlier in the game, big time.
A little nervous because Arkansas had bases loaded with no outs, and I saw it was like bases loaded with 2 outs. I'm like, oh, good.
Yeah.
And then luckily, that's a good way to end it, though. That's a good way to,
Poor guy pitched his ass off, and he's getting up with 5
Now he gets
earnings.
the turtle walk back to the dugout.
Yeah.
So
Don't throw stupid pitches to get grand slammed on. Like,
don't throw meat, kid.
Yeah,
Like,
seriously. What do you expect? What do you expect? Let's see. There's another super chat here from our guy Brown Up.
Oh, yeah.
He says, Hogs are going to San Antonio. Not scared of anybody. We can match it with anybody. Hogs versus the world, baby.
Hell yeah.
Yep. That's awesome.
At full strength, I mean, the Hogs really are versatile, man. I mean, they can match up, and they've proven they can win any style of basketball game. Like when they're rolling, they can beat you in a shootout. They can clamp you and lock you down defensively and beat you in the 60s. They can out tough you like they did St. John's if they have to. So I mean that's true. They can match up with anybody.
Can I throw out a bold prediction because I'm delirious and I probably won't remember I said this for the game on Thursday?
Yeah.
Big Z hits 2 threes.
That's a great
It's
bold
interesting
prediction.
that you said that. Yeah.
That's a great bold prediction. And I tell you, we talked about Arkansas's ability to keep up offensively. What have I said about Arkansas and Big Z all year? When he hits a 3, Arkansas just becomes a better team. The floor spacing is there. Hell, even the other day when he was not playing well, you could still kind of see his impact. When he catches the ball on the perimeter, like the defense is aware. If he hits a 3, especially early, that'd be a game changer, man.
Yep. It would be kind of cool, if he did. I think I like Arkansas's chances of winning if Big Z goes in there and hits 2 threes. Just saying. Yeah. Another super chat here from Chris Sullivan says, sorry for just tuning in. Did y'all know about Thero being clear to play? Cal broke the news earlier. Yes, we talked about it.
They broke that news. We were on the tarmac, waiting in line to get on the plane when that came out. So we were able to see that and react to it there. So that's good. That's good time stuff.
You better have all of you better have liked my graphic. I worked really hard on that on our Inside Arkansas.
I mean, it's on 3 quality.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's why they pay me the big bucks. Yeah. So let's see a few more here. Just Heartbroken Hog says, what are the chances y'all think? Speaking of Big Z,
yes,
Big Z bounce back game, you had 3 threes. Oh, well, there you go. So
his matchups don't look good, but I'm just being honest on the defensive end. But so Texas Tech is less, maybe equally deep than to Arkansas. It all depends on if Chance McMillian plays or not. That's their guard, who's a good player, really good shooter, who's been out since the Big 12 tournament. If he plays, they play 8. If he doesn't, they play 7, and they don't go any deeper than that. They have one big guy who comes off the bench. He plays about 9 minutes a game. Federico is his name. Same thing, first and last, which is kind of crazy. When that dude is in, I would have Z in immediately. I just don't know that I would feel comfortable at all having Big Z guarding JT Toppin. I just don't think it's a good idea. But one of the soft spots, in fairness, in Texas Tech's defense is pick and roll and pick and pop D. Like their ball screen defense can get got. And they're going to play this game a little bit differently than St. John's did and then Kansas did. Well, Kansas went to the zone. But Texas Tech is really going to try to collapse the paint. Right? They're going to try to cut out those straight line drives. They're going to try to keep DJ Wagner away from the rim. And really what Arkansas is going to have to do in this game is knock down some early 3-pointers and soften them up and make they're going to have to respect you from out there. Z is Arkansas's best bet to do that. Maybe Boogie gets hot and he finds a stroke out there. Nelly, we know, is capable. They got guys who are capable. But when it's Big Z doing it or Trevin doing it and it brings one of those big guys out of the paint, opens up so much for the driving lanes. So I hope that they do give Z a look early because I agree with both of you guys said. Arkansas, they're different offensively when he's rolling. And Cal has shown that he's willing to let him play through some stuff on the defensive end. If you're giving up 2s, keep making 3s, and Lord knows he's due to make at least 1 here. So.
I have a bizarre take to spin off my chest here.
Okay,
you know how Arkansas does the thing where they go through like a 3 or 4 minute scoring drought literally every single game.
They've never done
that.
They
do that. Yes,
they do that. I'm not saying that's a good thing. Obviously, you would prefer them not to do that. But I do think Arkansas, we've spoken about how their experience in the SEC is going to help them in pretty much any matchup because whatever type of team you face in the tournament, you probably saw them in the SEC. I think the fact that Arkansas's had so much experience winning those like tight defensive battles and winning some shootouts, being in kind of everything in between is going to be nice. Whereas Texas Tech, kind of like St. John's, typically is used to imposing their will. Like there's not a ton of games where Texas Tech's had to dig deep and grind out that 68-64 type of win. I think that's going to be an interesting thing to watch because, like you said, if Arkansas makes some threes early and kind of shows Texas Tech, hey, we can match pace, we can score a little bit too. Then if things get tight late, which in these NCAA tournament games, even the best offenses we've seen kind of have some clunkers here, I think Arkansas is better equipped to deal with that. They won't panic when they miss a few shots because we see them do it every single game. They find a way to dig deep. I wonder psychologically, we talked about that with St. John's, how it kind of threw them off that Arkansas was kind of prepared for that matchup. I think Texas Tech, if Arkansas hits some shots early, that's going to throw them off a little bit. And then if both teams kind of go through a stretch where it's a little bit ugly, like the second half was against Kansas, Arkansas was able to overcome that. Texas Tech probably can. I mean, they're a very good team. They've earned their right to be here. But I love the fact that Arkansas has been in so many of these different games and battled through so many different situations where pretty much every team they face in the tournament outside of Florida potentially in the next round, I feel like we like know more about Arkansas's willingness to play these different types of games.
Do not get discouraged if Texas Tech hits a few threes early in this game.
Yeah.
And you feel like, God, man, they've hit 4 out of 5 to start the game. It's just going to be one of those nights or whatever. Arkansas will settle down and they'll figure things out on that end of the floor. I'm very confident that's the case.
We'll continue to get to your chats, folks. But, of course, a lot of you are big into the whole sports betting thing, and there's only one app to do it with the BetSaracen app there in the state of Arkansas. They actually got some really cool promos going on right now that are valid throughout April 7th. For instance, new BetSaracen players register with the code WELCOME. Just welcome, and you get $125 in free bets after your first $25 bet settles in. You just click on the promotions tab inside of the app, and you will get to all the rules, as well as new players. So you get up on the bet and place a $25 bet and get that $125 in free bets as well. So they got even a $50,000 hoops parlay jackpot that's going on too. So they got it all going on. Some really cool promotions. So check it out at BetSaracen, BetSaracen.com, and download the #1 sports betting app here in the state of Arkansas. A few more here. I got to get to another super chat. Got a very nice thing here from James. He says, Woo Pig Suey lived in San Francisco a few years back. Hope y'all are staying in a good neighborhood. Great city if you stay out of the wrong areas. Hoping to head up that way if we win Thursday. Well, thank you for the super chat, James. And yes, we are in a great neighborhood. Shout out to our guy Logan Sco Hogs for the very nice gesture of setting this all up for our Airbnb, an awesome Airbnb. And yeah, we're going to try to stay out of the wrong areas. And hopefully you do head up here.
It's hard to stay out of the wrong areas when you don't even know what the right ones are, but we feel pretty good about where we're at.
Yeah.
It was funny. I just took a little spin around and threw it on Twitter. I was like, man, it's just a beautiful neighborhood we're in. And the first comment that came through was, you guys can't afford that. Can't afford to stay there. And I was like, well, here we are.
Yeah.
But no, it's awesome out here, man. I think we all kind of agreed that it's like, especially where we're at, obviously we understand that there are bad areas. There were times last year or a couple years ago when we were out here where we would like try to walk out of the Chase Center and security would stop us and be like, yo, it's dark. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You cannot go outside right now. Stay in here until your Uber gets there. And we're like, wow, is it really that bad?
Here, take this bulletproof vest.
Exactly.
Put it on.
It was kind of crazy. So we get it, but where we're at right here is it's really nice, and it's condensed though.
It is
like
very
everything's it's very hilly and everything's so crammed. But it's beautiful. It really is gorgeous out here.
Yeah. And again, the weather's awesome right now. It doesn't look like it's not going to be terrible weather for the next week, but today is definitely the best weather day that's going to be happening here. So
the last time I was here, I walked out the back door and I was recording a post game outside of the Chase Center and caught on camera a drunk fan from the stadium and a cop getting into a tussle. And a screaming girlfriend in the background. It was electric. The old Hog Hoops Live days with Trey. It was nuts.
Need to bring that back. Hopefully you get another one of that. So, yeah. Hopefully the Pot at the Palace gets some sort of action there in the background so people want to see. Speaking of, Ty says, if we win, John has to sleep in the sauna. Yeah, so our Airbnb has a sauna. I don't know if anyone saw that.
You will tomorrow.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, you'll see it. You'll see it on the Pot at the Palace or the Cribs edition. But yeah, there is a sauna in here. I'm going to be honest, guys. I have never used a sauna in my life.
Really?
I have one at home.
Have you ever at any hotel or anything like that?
I've never used a sauna or a steam room. I have no idea what to do in it.
Changes your life.
You go in there and you hang brain. That's what you do. Yeah, you just sit and sweat. That's it.
What does it help you with?
It's going to help you detox after we have a few beers tonight.
get rid of a bunch of liquid in you.
Yeah.
You know,
You'll feel like $1 million.
you'll
It's good
literally
stuff.
lose like 3 pounds, and that's not an exaggeration.
Good.
If
I could use it after
if
all the
you're
ice
bloated-
cream last week.
Yeah, if you're bloated, you won't be after that. It's good stuff, man.
Mhm.
I'm not sleeping in the sauna though. There's a nice
When-
bed there
Yeah,
instead.
no, I don't think you're meant to sleep.
When
in
you
them. I don't
wake up
feel.
in the morning, I'm gonna be in there, towel only. So don't freak out.
Hey, well, if you're walking in there, just know that you're going to see my naked rear end like right there in bed still. So just as long as we're getting weird here. I love this because of what it says, but also because of the name Big
Yeah, we
Salty
love Big
Hog.
Salty
Yes,
Hog, man.
What a
absolutely.
pleasant surprise to see y'all live. Typically working, but was hoping to catch you. Yeah, well, we appreciate it, Big Salty Hog.
Should we just talk about this on the air now, on the airwaves?
Mhm.
Fans, are y'all okay with the afternoon thing? Because obviously, 10 a.m. here is when we would normally be going live,
Right.
but we got practice and all that, and so we've been kind of
Well,
wondering like what we
yeah.
should do.
you're right. We have practice. A lot of the establishments out here, like we try to go do shows elsewhere, and they're not open yet at 10 a.m. here. So yeah, like the scheduling stuff is crazy, and we don't have electricity tomorrow, so we can't do it here even if we wanted to.
I forgot about
so,
that. Yeah, that's tough.
That is a bummer.
I just needed to bring that up. I've been waiting for an opportunity to fit it in.
Yeah.
I'm
we have
glad you
we have
reminded
no
me.
power here
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
So.
I guess it is a good time. So yeah, tomorrow is going to be one of those things of it'll be a late afternoon deal. No way. I thought I was going to get that play, but that was close. It's going to be later in the afternoon because they have practices that we get to, or a little bit of practice as well as locker room access. So we'll have that. But then on Thursday and Friday, we're probably going to go live at, if I get the times right, noon local time here, which will be 2 p.m. Central time there in Arkansas. So just because, again, as Kurt said, it's hard to do stuff at locations when it's 10 a.m. here. So we're trying to do all that we can where we're still doing streams, we're still doing all of this, still giving it to as close to the consistency that we have with Inside Arkansas Live at noon, but also trying to make it make sense. Like we don't want to force the issue and make it weird. Like, well, Jiminy Christmas, we better do it at right there at this time at 10 a.m. Forget doing it at a cool place. We better do it right here. No, it's like we want to try to appease everybody and make it make sense. So just say all that to say we're going to be doing some afternoon stuff this week while we're in San Francisco.
That's why you got to hit that bell.
Yep.
That gives you the little
thing
alert.
Yeah.
Hey, the boys are live. Hop in. You need that.
Yeah. You all absolutely need that. Let's see. Yeah. Never mind. Some of these names y'all come up with, I don't even know what to think about it, man. Like,
Did you see we had someone in here named Piss Missile earlier?
Did we really?
Oh,
Yeah,
come
we did.
on. Who says those things? No, because I just saw like the Tuna's House of Influence. It's
Yeah,
like,
no, that's good.
yeah, it's just like every time I see that, I'm like, okay, whatever works.
Tuna's House of Influence. I know who that is now.
Do you?
Hit me up. Yep.
Oh,
yep.
There you go.
I love being able to put an actual name to a
face.
YouTube name.
Yeah. Kind of like our guy Logan.
Interesting.
Yeah, you got that now. Tie game, by the way, in the Razorback baseball game.
Yeah.
We'll sacrifice fly.
Okay.
And it's 5-5 in the fifth for the Razorbacks right now.
We crowned Ben Bybee too early.
Yeah.
I feel like if I were him, I would have just refused to pitch today. Be like, yeah, I came off a good outing. Like, nah, I'm not pitching on Tuesday.
Let's see. Heartbroken Hawk says, Lord Jesus, please don't let Tech play zone.
Let him.
Okay, I was going to say, let's
zone
talk
buster
about
back,
this.
man. You got the zone buster back.
You're right. I mean, Cal's spoken about it 1,000 times. He doesn't. There's no secrets when it comes to Arkansas's who they want in the middle of that zone. It's a Duthero. And now we liked what they did with Jonas Adu in the middle of that zone. They finally figured that out. But yeah, you get the zone breaker back, and this was a thing earlier in the year. Like we've already kind of done the zone bit where some teams went zone. Arkansas kind of needed to react. When they've had time to prepare for a zone, they've been pretty good. Who knows if Arkansas is preparing for zone, but I don't think they were expecting Kansas to do it. What did we say? They had only played
7 possessions.
7 possessions all year. So I think Arkansas was probably a little bit caught off guard when they did that, but they kind of figured it out down the stretch, made a ton of huge plays, especially after that timeout. So I felt like Arkansas kind of conquered the zone on Thursday, and we've seen them do it against, lesser competition. But early in the year, that was kind of a thing that some teams were doing, and Arkansas found answers to it. That's where you start seeing those John L. Davis 5 for 11 from 3 type of games where he just like starts launching them like he was doing earlier in the year. And so it's like, I'm kind of with you where I'm like, I don't know if that's necessarily the same impact it would have earlier in the year and like on past Arkansas teams that like really couldn't shoot.
Our guy Hayden, appreciate it as always, my man. For Super Chat, he says, we are about to get addicted to ending Tech season like we are Kansas, aren't we? Saunas are sick, John. You should do one 4 times a week, to be honest. Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, I'll work on that. I don't have a sauna around me. I don't even know where I'd find a sauna.
You just get,
Four
get,
times
get
a
one.
week.
I got
Curtis
one at
has
home
one,
in
yeah.
my garage. It's not like the fancy wooden,
Oh,
mahogany
then I don't
dry
want it
sauna
then.
in
I
there.
don't know.
But
Curtis
it's
has a little box that he can create any climate he wants. in
sauna
there.
box.
You-
It's good. It works.
You just feel like it's like a turtle shell you just crawl into. And
Sauna box sounds gross.
It's yeah. I mean, you're like a caterpillar in a cocoon, and you come out a butterfly.
I love that.
Uh,
I love that.
It is pretty good. Maybe one day I'll check into it. I'll give this sauna the old college try, and then we'll go from there
There we go.
and see. Jordan says, fellas, what's the sleeping situation at the B&B? Is Andrew stuck on the couch again?
No, I'm not stuck on the couch.
Although this is a great couch, but yeah.
Yeah, this is a great. This is a lot better than the one in Providence. No disrespect. But no, yeah. Me and Sco Hogs not sharing a bed, but we're sharing a bunk bed. Well, we don't have to share a bunk bed.
There's a bunk
room.
bed.
There's a room with 3 beds. It's got a bunk bed and then a separate one. I think he's gonna sleep on the separate one. I'm sleeping on top of that bunk bed, man.
I like that a lot.
Back in the
Taking
church,
top
I used to be a church camp guru back in the day. I used to go every year, and so it reminds me my roots.
Were you guys? So you guys enjoyed sleeping on the top bunk of a bunk bed?
Oh yeah, I like it.
I was never that. I was always the bottom bunk. I don't know why. By the way, Missouri State's up.
Yeah, I don't.
They threw it into the dugout.
Gabe Frazier was jumping over the sliding runner, and then the ball goes under his.
That's tough.
Or I guess it just went to beside him.
Yeah, I just went beside him into the dugout.
Yeah, that was
that's a rough look.
You can't have a guy score from first on a base hit. That's happened twice in the last 3 days for Arkansas.
Yeah, that's not an ideal situation to have happen. Let's see. Also, Jordan wants to know, what are your thoughts about Houston and Purdue tipping after 9 p.m. local time on Friday?
No disrespect. Don't care about those cats. I'm locked in on the goal. I have no idea. Where are they playing though? For real?
Indy.
Yeah, Indy.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's Indy.
Honestly, I'm cool with it because what he said, that was a Friday game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll be able to watch it. So
yeah,
it's cool. I like a little late night game.
Yeah, it'll be a late night for us here, 7 p.m.
Yeah,
there's nothing better than when you've been betting all day and you feel like you've kind of run out of steam, and then there's a game about to tip off at 9:30, and you're like, oh hell yeah,
yeah,
one more live bet.
I meant to bring this one up. Ty just says Jeff Goodman is obsessed with Cal. It's really weird how much his name is in that dude's mouth.
Well, it's also hilarious that Jeff Goodman is bringing Kentucky Sports Radio's Matt Jones onto his podcast tonight. I mean, that's literally.
I wonder what they'll talk about.
It's like it's the plaintiffs versus John Calipari. Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what it is. It's like it's time for them to give their testimony about how Cal wronged them.
Yeah,
that's going to be such a suck fest that I'm definitely going to listen to it.
Yeah, like a little hate listen. But obviously, Jeff's got some personal experience with Cal, but also Jeff is in our business, and we have also figured this out. John Calipari equals eyeballs and money.
Yep,
that's what John Calipari equals. And so, I mean, hell, I was going through some old shows today, and we'd be doing football all week, and it'd be football this amount, and then we'd be like John Calipari, and it'd triple the amount. It's just, I mean, it's smart. If you're in our business and you're not, mentioning Cal every third, day or so, you're doing it wrong.
I'll give the other. Well, actually, Goodman. In fairness to him, now he's been awful for the longest, but he did at least swallow his pride and give Cal a lot of credit after that St. John's win.
He did.
I'll give him that one, and then I was listening to Fanta, and even the other guy who was calling that the seesaw match thing with him and Patino, and was kind of taking shots at Cal. They did too. So they've, he's humbled a lot of people who have had to kind of swallow their pride and give him their flowers, but
I mean, listen, it's not going to stop anybody. We agree that, at this point, nobody can, dunk on Cal. If Arkansas loses by 15 Thursday, nobody can be like, see, we're proving, But I have no doubt that if and when Arkansas loses in this tournament, there's going to be a mob that comes forward and is like, see, told you guys you wouldn't win the Natty. Shut up.
I'm kind of hoping that, I don't know, maybe I'm weird. I take it as a term of endearment if Cal tried to get me fired. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
which everyone in Kentucky swears.
That's what happened with Matt Jones.
And they swear that it's going to happen to us. We were at KS Bar and they were like, oh, y'all are being too negative. Cal's going to come after you now. Little do they know.
Oh.
That's our boy.
Oh. Or little do they know, how could they fire us? when we do our own thing.
We are
you know?
very disconnected from the
Yeah, I'm about to
University of
say it's not. Oh, what's the worst they could do? Revoke our credentials?
Then to send Mike Kaywood over to be like, I'll ruin your life. No,
Yeah,
they
like,
only
oh,
do that at
dude.
UConn.
Man, that's like, okay, listen, I'm going to bring that up right now because for those of you who don't know that the UConn fiasco that we talked about with Danny Hurley and Yellen and talking about Baylor, reportedly, the SID, the sports information director for UConn, went over to said person who posted that and threatened to ruin their life and everything. Like, very intense stuff. And so I'm just saying, not every SID is that way, but the power trips that some SIDs can go on can be a little bit ridiculous, and that's something like that. You can do something tastefully and say, hey, please don't do that, or hey, do you mind taking it down? Hey, or whatever. And they can say no. And if they say no, you're moving on. But, man, to threaten somebody like that, power trips, man. Power trips. That's all it is. Sad. Pathetic.
Yeah, that's such, and I love that the guy and the news station stood on that business and were like, he was threatened, and all that, and like that's the kind of stuff that that gets me going. Anytime you can make the communications department at a school look bad, I'm into it. Like I'm into that kind of stuff. I wish there were more stories like this. Yeah,
and let me also bring up too, because somebody said that this reminds me of the time when that I think it was actually a Kentucky fan, maybe. Somebody's like, this reminds me of that time of that Arkansas assistant coach that assaulted the reporter with the phone at the SEC tournament.
God,
I saw somebody bring it up,
situation.
and I'm like, that was Riley Hall, and he did not assault and do anything like that. That kid was a liar, all right? Because Riley did not take his phone and throw it on the ground, because that's what he said.
Yeah,
he took his phone and threw it on the ground. Riley Hall did not do that, and the absolute coals that guy got raked over was completely and totally unjustified, and I will fight that to the death.
Riley
that was
Hall is
crap.
the nicest guy in the world. He wouldn't even know how to assault something if he tried.
Yeah.
Like that was crazy.
And also, that was a thing where they're walking off the court, someone puts a phone, and then Riley kind of, does a little kind of protective motion. That's not like an order from the University of Arkansas. It's like, go tackle that kid with the phone and kill him. It's like, no, like that's just kind of spur of the moment. Riley's basically there to guard people from Eric Musselman there. He was doing his job. He was just kind of, that wasn't a trying to censor the media. That was just some random dickhead with a phone.
I just love the fact that back then, that student newspaper at Kentucky, ironically, it always has to be Kentucky. But that student newspaper is like, this is violence against the media. And I'm like, yeah, you're over there. You got to talk about, like in the 60s, having the media out there trying to cover the war, and they're dodging cruise missiles in the Straits of Hormuz. But yet this guy's, this is violence against the media. Get out of here with that crap.
Crazy.
Yeah, it just pissed me off all over again, because I remember how stupid all that stuff was. That's actually when me and Riley became friends, because he came up to me. He's like, hey, man, thanks for defending me. And I'm like, you're welcome. You're welcome. Trey says, did you guys catch Cal saying 3 freshmen, hopefully 1 more, and he hopes that 3 to 4 guys return next year on the show today?
I did not catch that. He already has 4 freshmen, so that's interesting. But I don't know. It's kind of tough to consider the Rattel kid, who they just got the international player, a freshman. Just like it's probably hard for him to be like, okay, everybody's yelling at me for calling him a future Hall of Famer, but he's still coaching. You know what I mean? Kelsey, this guy who's been playing pro ball, and he's 20 years old, and it probably doesn't register like, oh yeah, he's actually a freshman. But yeah, I mean that's kind of been the thought process though for him. It's what he said. He wanted 3 to 4 freshmen. Wanted to keep 3 or 4, get 3 or 4 out of the portal, and just kind of keep things supplemented there. The retention of 3 to 4 guys would be absolutely huge.
I like that.
If they didn't, they'd still go out and get really, really good players out of the portal. There's no doubt about it. They'll have one of the more talented rosters in the country again. But that continuity, man, and the culture and the foundation laid, guys coming back and already having that baseline set, that's big time. And I hope that they do wind up. I would love for them to have 4 returners. I really would.
That would be sick. I mean, we have this narrative that it's a completely new roster every year, and to an extent in college basketball it is, especially when you have a coaching change like Arkansas had last year and has had in years past. And I know Muss really like to deplete and replenish the roster year after year. But you look at some of the best teams in this tournament, some of the best teams we've seen over the last few years have been some of those teams. Like Purdue has their entire starting 5 is basically, I mean, they're the one team on that graphic that all of them started their career at Purdue. UConn, that's been a huge ingredient of not this year. Their success in the past is they're able to keep some of those guys, retain them. You have to have everything. You have to have freshmen contribute. You have to have transfers contribute. And I feel like you kind of have to have some of that those returning guys to set that culture and that foundation. And I feel like some of those guys, like a Brazil, like a Knox, like a Richmond, are the guys that you want, kind of setting that leadership and that culture. And also you get to see these guys be a year older, which is always cool. Like, imagine what Carter Knox is going to look like 11, 12 months from now. Like, we're going to love that guy. And so I think it helps. One, on the court, Arkansas would have less work to do in the portal, but also I think it'd be huge for from a culture standpoint, because I think it took Arkansas probably 3 or 4 months this season to really find a groove with the guys. It wouldn't take them. There wouldn't be as much of that integration process. You got some returning pieces.
The Tuna's House of Influence says, take a pocket knife on your morning runs, Curtis, or make John and Andrew go with you. I ain't going on a run. So
Curtis is smart enough to look at us and realize, like, we probably ain't going on no long distance jog.
Yeah,
I don't have a pocket knife. I'll take a steak knife out of the kitchen.
Yeah, there you go.
No, just Curtis, you need canned goods. Remember, that's your weapon of choice.
That is my weapon of choice in attempted muggery. So.
Yeah. I mean, because what would you rather get hit with, a knife or a can of Campbell's soup?
Exactly.
I mean, you tell me what's more effective there. Especially if you see somebody using one, I'm like, that just means that guy's crazy. If he's going out there and chooses a can of soup. This guy Jake says John Calipari equals money for him and eyeballs for his players. LOL. That's
I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is a BBN supporter here that is chiming in. I mean, listen, like, our literal livelihoods kind of depend on Cal. Can confirm, like, it helps. Like, it definitely helps having Cal as the coach. And also, like, you think it's a coincidence that every single network in the country is running with every single Cal thing they can. Every single podcast is trying to get him on the show. Like, it's not because he doesn't draw a ton of eyeballs, and eyeballs in this world that we live in equals money. And so, can confirm, Cal very much still moves the needle, not just for his players in his own pockets. Like, he's feeding families, including ours.
Also, Heartbroken Hog says, who would be the 4 players most likely returning? I mean, I think we already kind of broke that down a little bit, but was it Billy Richmond, Carter Knox,
go DJ
Wagner, Trevin Brazil,
Trevin? Is he maybe the 4? Like, who knows if he's 50 or 50 or not? But if we were ranking those guys, I would say the 2 freshmen are probably most likely to return. Or you think Carter's kind of playing his way in there?
Be on the lookout for Billy.
Yeah.
He's being tampered with heavily.
Who would do such a thing? Who
as a DJ Wagner?
Who would do such a thing? Leave him alone. All right.
Yeah. Just relax.
Don't make us turn you in, because we ain't got no filter.
Yeah, that's what we should do.
We'll call you out.
Everything I've heard about Carter is that he's going to be back.
Gotcha.
So far,
yeah.
And a lot of what I've heard about TB lately is that he will too.
So if you were ranking it, would you go Carter's the most likely to return?
Yep.
TB maybe second.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And it's the DJ stuff. I'm not buying it. Why would you leave? Like, you're guaranteed a starting spot. You led the SEC in minutes. You got the unlimited green light. You're on a good team.
And Cal literally
loves
you.
You're not going pro.
Yeah, Cal literally loves you.
Yeah, it's so
Cal's done enough where I feel like he's earned that.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're gonna have to give. I'm not saying Billy's looking to leave. I don't want anybody to misconstrue that. But schools are seeing what he's doing and are trying to make a play. And that happens in a lot of places. Hell, Arkansas does it to guys elsewhere. But,
we would never.
So they're going to have to, renegotiate the bag a little bit to make sure no funny business happens there. And I imagine they will, because they love them some Billy.
Yep. Chris Sullivan, super chat, appreciate it. But he says 3 to 4 returning who is leaving besides the NBA guys and the ones that just out of eligibility.
Well, those would be the ones that would be leaving. Obviously you've got some seniors.
Yeah, Jonas and Nelly are graduating or out of eligibility, and Adu and Boogie probably going pro.
Yeah. By the way, Arkansas just tied the game. Baseball.
Nolan Souza, RBI knock left on left. Souza sneaky hits lefties pretty well.
Yeah. So tied at 6s, bottom of the 5th. Runners the first and second.
Hey, y'all don't need to be trying me about DJ Wagner. Like I said, I'm not buying it. Go talk to your boy Trilly Donovan about that.
Curtis has been on the right side of history about this. He's been very open of like, we got different sources on that.
Right.
Also, Mav SF says you have to go jogging on the Marina Green down to Chrissy Field, close to the GG Bridge, one of the best runs in the U.S. So there you go.
I don't know how close that is to where we are, but if it's in range, I might do that.
I always feel bad whenever we go anywhere and people are like telling us to do certain things. I gotta be honest, it's not like we really do a ton of like just tourist sightseeing and exploring, like more than we try to do a little bit. That's what was cool about Providence, is all close together. But I feel bad that we're gonna not be able to get to all the recommendations.
Yeah,
Me too.
Joshua says, "Are y'all going to be streaming from a bar on Thursday morning/afternoon?" Okay, I haven't gotten the call. I'm just going to go ahead and say it until proven otherwise, because it's time. I feel like it's going to happen. Splash Bar, right next to the Chase Center, 30,000 square foot, awesome sports bar with golf simulators and everything, is where we're going to be tomorrow and Thursday and Friday. All right. If that changes, you cannot hold me to this, but I am going to go ahead and play the odds here, and we're going to be there. And when it becomes official, you can call this as maybe like me being John Rothstein right now and saying, we'll see how the practice goes. And then Cal will come along later and say, it's happening. So, but yeah, Splash Bar, that's where we're going to be for right now. But come pull up and we'll give you the details on that. I'm pretty excited about that because I think we're at least going to go there no matter what. It looks like a pretty cool spot regardless. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And if we end up going somewhere else, we'll obviously be on the lookout. We'll be tweeting wherever or saying what we got to do.
Yeah, we will keep you updated. So tap in on the socials because we'll be sure to let you know. Trey R says, is Nate going to the school who's going to pay him the most?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. Those are my favorite chats where it's just so simple, like right there.
Yeah. Sometimes if I see those and it's an easy answer, I'm like, oh yeah, pull that up. Yeah, Nate Ament going to the highest bidder. And the dude wants more money than AJ Debanza. So unless he comes off that nonsense and overvaluing himself there, I wouldn't expect Arkansas to be the choice. So
let's see. This one's earlier from Brent. He says, I'm a lifetime UK fan for 40 years. This year started this summer. I root for Cal and Arkansas and hoped UK lost every game. Why? The Raging Rednecks and the way people treated a Hall of Famer and a great man.
You know, it's funny. When I started this chat, when I saw Raging Rednecks, I thought that was like a complimentary term to us. Turns out it's Kentucky fans. But that's interesting. I feel like there's a few people that are in that category, but we will gladly welcome you with open arms here, man. We will be nice to our king. We will not treat him the way that those cowards at BBN have done.
Yeah. Also, Michelle comes in, LOL, when usually don't get the call, it's not good odds. Hey, stay in your lane, Michelle, okay? So you should be moderating the chat. Don't worry about us.
We've never had assumptions go wrong before.
No. Listen, we're batting 1,000 here. We're batting 1,000 here.
I don't know what she's talking about.
I mean, come on now. Let's see. Bacon Bits also says, you can tell the national media hasn't followed the Hogs all season. They lack all context when discussing.
Very irritating.
It is bad. Yeah. Like and here's the thing. I get it, and I'm not calling him out specifically, but when I hear Stephen A. Smith talking about Arkansas basketball, I'm like, stop. Just stop.
Yeah, just shut up, dude.
Like, you can say the basics of like, hey, Cal's done a great job with him this year, and wow, look at, he still got it. But when you're trying to like give some actual in-depth analysis and thought on Razorback basketball, stop. Like, there's one thing I promise you, it's Stephen A. Smith has not watched Razorback basketball until like the tournament. So that's the thing that just cracks me up when I see him and his co-host on First Take.
Oh, Shannon Sharp.
Yes, Shannon Sharp.
I saw a bunch of people reacting to Shannon Sharp, and I was like, I hate to be the one that has to like break this to you, but like, yeah, these dudes do not actually like, they're not sitting there trying to be thorough analysts that are like truly giving. They're just trying to kind of create some controversy. Shout out to Stephen A. Smith, who was like, if we don't get more upsets, the NCAA college basketball is going to be dead. And then like 20 minutes later, they put out the release. They were like, most watched second round of all time. Right after there were not enough upsets and all that, it actually turned out to be like way better for the sport. It is just funny. And like, we've defended Stephen A. a lot actually, but like, if you're looking for like real talk, that you're just not going to get it there. You should just trust us. Did Zane Becker just hit his first home run foul?
I think so. Yeah, just foul.
Just foul.
Dang.
Close but no cigar. Tell you what, we'll do that as part of our Arkansas update presented by Davis & Garrett Insurance, your independent auto owners insurance agency, securing what matters the most. And Arkansas, Missouri State tied at 6 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. Counts at 2-2. And I think probably people are ahead of us here. What streaming service are we watching this on?
ESPN.
Is it the Watch ESPN app?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know. When we go to these Airbnbs, we never really know what to expect when it comes to the streaming services or the television setup and everything.
Great crowd at Bomb. Good Lord, you see that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the weather's great.
$2 hot dogs. You got to be there. Good piece of hitting from Zane Becker.
Got it.
Off the wall, 2-run double at least.
Did he go trips?
Zane Becker, man, what a stud.
Just like
RBI, HBP,
I called it.
2-run double.
I called that. I called it before the game started. I said Zane Becker's going to do that.
Hell yeah,
and
man.
he did.
It's been a big week for Arkansas catchers hitting the baseball.
yes, it has been. Yes, it has been. Adam says, if we win the regional, would Calipari get a banner for Bud Walton Arena?
Yes.
Yeah.
Final Four. You hang that one.
You definitely.
Yeah.
We will.
I
Definitely.
think. Well, I know that they hang. They don't hang all the tournament appearances, but they hang Sweet 16s, I believe, too, right?
They definitely did it. I think they have a banner for Sweet 16 and Elite Eights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they'll
probably add the year to it or whatever.
Yeah, they want to get a new banner, but it'll be.
I was gonna say Cal doesn't strike me as the guy that would do a Sweet 16 banner, but they put the year up there. But yeah, Final Four for sure.
Yeah. Because I don't know how much Cal is going to have a say in the banner. Is he going to be like, hey, guys, we need a banner up here? I don't know if Cal's that guy. Sometimes I feel like, ooh, this wild pitch up, got an advance to third. All right, so Arkansas's in business once again. Sometimes I feel like with people with Cal, they try to make him out to be a normal person, and he's not. He's not a normal human being. He does not think about the things that we think about. Like, hey, do you think Cal wants a banner? It's like, no, Cal doesn't care about a banner.
He's just Johnny from the block.
He's just
lunch lady in a garbage man or whatever.
What did he say? He was like, I'm Johnny Calipari from wherever or whatever. Yeah. It's good stuff.
Oh, man. Let's see. Bacon Bates is asking, have you guys been to eat yet? How much is a meal and a beer run in San Francisco? We have not, but we're going to get here soon. It's 5:50 local time. That's what's just crazy. It's like most people aren't eating here yet. And but back home, it's dadgum near 8 o'clock. People have eaten already. So,
yeah, we're going to have to get some nutrients in our system, man. I'm fading quick.
Yep. Because the caffeine ain't doing anything for you guys, apparently.
The coffee was like normal priced. I mean, as overpriced as every cup of coffee is when you buy it at a store.
I mean, it'll be. Listen, it's not like if it's overpriced, what are we gonna do?
Not eat.
It's like, all right, I guess we're just going to the drive-throughs. hey, we got to do it again, Curtis and Andrew.
In-N-Out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Near the In-N-Out burger.
I love In-N-Out. That's where they thought you were Derek Carr, right?
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. Thought he was Derek Carr. Oh, man.
Good times, man. That was Vegas, yeah.
Was that Vegas?
Yep.
Okay.
Me, you, and Scotty.
But there's an In-N-Out burger in San Fran, though, right?
There is, yeah.
Okay. I get it all. Arkansas's been to so many tournament games. I get them all mixed up. I mean, what are you going to say? All right, a few more chats here, folks, before we call it a day here on Inside Arkansas Live. We appreciate it, though, for real, all of you continuing to tap in with us and hang out with us and be patient with us. Because, again, it's awesome to do what we're able to do and to have fun with it and to be here once again. And you know what I can't wait for? I can't wait for San Antonio.
It's going to be sick. The river.
Yep, the river. Do you think Razorback fans get into some shenanigans if they win a national title?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to admit this on the air in front of God and everybody. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I got teary-eyed during the flight today, and it was not because I was scared. It was because for some reason, again, I blame my deliriousness. I started thinking about if Arkansas won a national championship this year in basketball.
Yeah, it's going to be heavy on the waterworks, bro. It's going to be crazy.
Not just that, but us being on Pod at the Palace post-game show, following that, I'm not going to be able to keep it together. I won't be able to do it. Like Curtis, you're going to have to be our oak in that situation and lead us, because it got me just emotional, thinking about it. Same way that it'd be if it was bombastic in the World Series, just that moment of us together talking about it would be so fun.
All I've been thinking about is which one of the managers I can beat up to get his piece of the net when they cut it.
Oh,
that'd be nice.
Dude, yeah, we're gonna have that. And what if, like, best case scenario, Arkansas wins it because Trevin Brazil hits a buzzer beater?
I would love that for Trevin, dude.
Man,
yeah,
he would suddenly become the iconic legend Scotty Thurman and Trevin Brazil.
He would do it in Michael Qualls fashion too,
with the dunk.
Yeah, that's what he's good
for. I like that. I remember when Chris Jenkins, the Villanova guy, came back for his senior year. Every single time I watched a Villanova game, I was like, "Hey, there's Chris Jenkins." He averaged like 10 a game as a senior or whatever. But Trevin would be that guy where everybody's like, "Oh, there's Trevin."
Yeah, and just to hear the noise that Bill Rafferty would make, you never know what it would be.
Do we know what neighborhood we're staying in?
Yeah, somebody just asked that.
I've seen a lot of.
I don't know. I don't know how to say this without like really putting our location on blast.
Well,
we're by a bunch of schools. I know that.
I think it's Diamond Heights, close to that.
Yeah, Diamond Heights or Ashbury.
Yeah.
We're pretty close to the University of San Francisco, it appears.
Yeah, we might see Bill Russell. Well, he passed. He has passed, has he
Yeah,
not?
but we might see him. That's a blasty from Missouri State. Arkansas was up 8-6, and now it's 8-7. Look at this guy's locks.
What the hell does he think he is?
Yeah, Thor. Come on
Andrew?
now. Yeah.
Arkansas's pitching been booty cheeks today, man.
Dude, the Hogs suck. Like, don't you
They
know?
stink, dude.
No, everyone's like telling the baseball team's they're out of it, man. They're just out of it. Super chat from our guy Woody just says, "Get the Flying Dutchman from In-N-Out." I don't know what that means, but
Guessing it's an item.
well, yeah, I mean, I
What is
figure,
that?
but it sounds dangerous,
Yeah.
whatever it is. If you have to give,
Is that a glizzy? What is that? I'm looking it up.
Yeah.
it's
Go for
still like I don't know if it bothers me, but there's just something about when you guys call it glizzy.
Oh, looks like a patty melt.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Mav SF, he's I guess a San Francisco guy. He's like, also you have to
Oh.
take a Waymo. In fact, order you a Waymo to take you to Perry's.
Interesting. Flying Dutchman is on a secret menu, which is
Oh, I
like
didn't
all
know
their
that.
animal style stuff, but it's
Yeah.
2 beef patties and 2 slices of cheese with no bun or condiments.
Interesting.
Provocative. What's a Waymo?
I'm guessing some
An
type
Uber?
of public transit.
Okay. I was just making sure that I wasn't like the one in the dark over here. It's just like, oh yeah, just the old Waymo. Just take the Waymo whenever you get a chance. Make it happen. Do the Waymo thing. All right. You know what? We've done a lot.
Yeah.
John was just like, he crunched the numbers. He's like, yeah, no, we're good.
good here.
Yep. We did. We did it. We did it. And then again, it's just one of those things where we haven't eaten all day, and we've been putting in the work. We've been doing a lot of things and doing a lot of stuff, and we're ready to get it going here. We're ready to get our feet under us and take off from here on out. And it's going to be awesome here in San Francisco, and we're so thankful to be here, and we're really excited about all the stuff that we're going to be doing here with Inside Arkansas Live. Pot at the Palace, of course, is going to be going on. Ellis better do some baseball content because he did 0 up in Providence, according to everybody.
Right.
Just
That's
did
crazy.
just zero baseball stuff.
By the way, I actually want to address this because so I obviously ranted a little bit on
Yes.
Inside Arkansas Live. Maybe the most commented on bombastic ever yesterday. Everybody's like, dude, Andrew, I listen to the show. I like it. I feel bad because I feel like it's like I put a gun to everyone's head and I was like, watch my show and comment. I appreciate everybody that reached out. I had a few people message me and they're like, hey man, just want to let you know, keep your head up. I'm still watching. I really wasn't like actually complaining. It's March Madness. It's basketball season. I don't expect the bombastic to necessarily be at its peak form. I was just saying that's why I thought nobody would care if I went like one day without doing a bombastic. But it warms my heart that people did care. But
Yeah.
I appreciate everybody that reached out. But I was not as downtrodden about it as I maybe seemed on Inside Arkansas Live.
Well, what it was is that it's kind of like when your friend group, if somebody in your friend group, like you don't realize that they're upset about something, then they kind of explode about it, and you're like, oh man, okay, we got to overcompensate.
that's what-
Hey, you're good, man. Like,
everybody was coddling me on the bombastic yesterday. I appreciate that.
yeah.
But, we're definitely going to have some type of bombastic content going around. We'll see what our schedule looks like. But, I mean, a series has to be previewed. I mean, action needs
true.
to be discussed. We did break down the circle of trust, but, the Diamond Hog action never slows up.
No, it doesn't. Josh says Waymo's the self-driving Uber. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
hell
know.
no, dude.
I don't know
That freaks
about
me
that.
out.
With our travel luck that we've had, folks, I don't know if we want to go down that route. But Heartbroken Hog says, John, we made enough money and I'm tired. Good night, y'all. That is not. Has nothing
One
to do
more
with-
super chat and we're out of here.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's not like I got a quota to meet. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's about timing, it's about structure, and it's about making sure that we got to all of the chats and the comments that we could for you guys. All right, that's what we're talking about. So, but also Big Salty Hog says, Curtis, stream your next pod at the Palace.
Big Salty Hog, I love you. Those go out at 7 a.m. every morning. I ain't streaming that. I ain't streaming that, dude.
Which, by the way, they've been doing great. You want to talk about numbies? Everybody's been tapping in with the Pot at the Palace, man. It's been awesome. Curtis could post a video of him just singing in the shower, and it would do 6K.
There's going to be a video tomorrow of me singing in a sauna, so we'll see.
there you
We'll see
go.
if that happens. But I mean, hell, it's easy when the team is in the Sweet 16 and it's portal season when you got John Tyson throwing money around.
Yeah.
So it's easy work, man. And I appreciate everybody for tapping in. But we're gonna do. I mean, our portal coverage, I will just say, is going to be very similar to what we did for football. Like when things happen, when somebody leaves and somebody comes in, whatever, we're going live then, and we're going to be prepared and we're going to be rolling with it. Obviously, we'll go live for the Pot at the Palace post games. Then we'll be live all the time down here for Inside Arkansas Live. The Pot at the Palace, like the daily episodes right now, let's just get you started in your morning with a little coffee and everything, and get you primed up for your day. But there'll be plenty of lives coming up. Don't you worry about that.
Yes, this is not a liveless organization.
No, we're full of life here. But yeah, it's going to be great though, folks. Again, we appreciate all of you tapping in with us, and it's going to be fun, and we can't wait to follow us on social media a lot, because that's where going to be our updates on what we do things and where we do things. So be sure to tap in on that. We'll have some practice, of course, footage for tomorrow. Okay, just go ahead and whatever chat you're talking about, let's just bring it up.
Shout out to Joe Cool. He said, "Take the self-driving Uber. You might see Russell." God rest his soul. Come on now.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh man.
Yeah. But I will say that you got to tap in with us on social media, so make sure that we keep you updated on all things we got going on. We'll have practice footage tomorrow, in-depth stuff, really solid drills, giving out the game plan. So we'll have that video posted up. We'll hear from some of the players tomorrow too. Maybe even a Dude Theoro. Maybe. If he's in the locker room.
Unless the Gestapo keeps him away from us, he should be available.
Yeah, because man, there is a large Gestapo that's in the locker room that could keep us away, but we'll have to wait and see. But we're going to still have all of that content for you, no matter what, at Inside Arkansas. So be sure to subscribe to us here in Inside Arkansas on YouTube. Also, check out all of our podcasts wherever podcasts are found in audio form. You can also follow us on social media at Inside Arkansas. Check out our website, InsideArkansas.com, for all the latest and greatest up-to-date information on all things Razorbacks. And we're going to keep it going from there. So, for Andrew Ellis and Curtis Wilkerson, I am John Nabors. Same sports show, same sports channel, tomorrow afternoon. Folks, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you live here in San Francisco tomorrow afternoon.